Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We are going to the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 24. Yesterday we read through the verses from 1 to 30. Yeah, all the verses. And today we'll take time to go through the purports. Just give me 1 second. Should I share the screen or not? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'll project it via the what's. Let me know if you see the screen now.
Yeah, yeah, we can see.
Okay. So in that way, purports, translations. So Shukadeva Goswami here is saying that some historians speak of the Puranas, say that 10,000 yojanas below the sun is the planet known as Rahu, which moves. So we are talking about those planets, yeah, below the sun, and which moves like one of the stars. The preceding deity of that planet, who is the son of Simhika, is most abominable of all asuras. But although he is completely unfit to assume the position of a demigod or planetary deity, he has achieved that position by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, sometimes we may see that some people take up the roles. Some people become mm, the position of a demigod. Here, in this case of Rahu, yeah, we may see, hey, he is not. Yeah, if you know astrology, you can see Rahu Graha is not favorable. Yeah. Um, but still, yeah, one may say, okay, still how come he can rule over? How come he has the power to rule? Yeah, we can see that is the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. So we cannot blame again that because it is the grace of the Lord, that's why it's happening. So Lord should be held um, um, for this. Yeah. Uh, what do you call this? To be accountable for this. No, Lord is not accountable for that. Lord is only kind of okay. This is such a bad, and what he did, and then he has chopped his head with his Sudarshan chakra. So, in a way, and then, but okay, he allowed. Yeah, when we go to the eighth canto, we will know how what is this grace of the Lord means in the case of Rahu. We will, when we discuss in the eighth canto, it comes. And then there is further explanation about the sun god. As stated here, in the sun extends for 10,000 yojanas and the moon extends for twice that of 20,000. The word dvadasha should be understood to mean twice as much as 10 or 20. In the opinion of Vijayadhwaja, the extent of Rahu should be twice that of the moon, which is 40,000 yojanas. However, to reconcile this apparent contradiction to the text of Bhagavatam, Vijayadhwaja cites the following quotation concerning Rahu. Rahu Soma Ravinam tu Mandala Dvi Gunotitam. Dvi means two, twice. Yeah? This means that Rahu is twice as large as the moon, which is twice as large as the sun. This is the conclusion of the commentator Vijayadhwaja. So, yeah, as I said, this is to understand the world where we are living. And so, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is always the protector of his devotee, who is also known as demigods. So, devotees, yeah, yeah, we can say the controlling demigods are most obedient to Lord Vishnu, although they also want material sense enjoyment. And that is why they are called demigods or almost godly. Sometimes I don't know if we may have this question, why in ISKCON there is this word used demigods. We know maybe if it is a semi-god we can understand. If it is a demon we can understand. It's a god we can understand. What is this demigod? Is that although they also want material sense enjoyment, though they are controlling, demigods are most obedient to Lord Vishnu. Which means they are almost godly, which means they are already in the mode of goodness or in the mode of pure goodness, but time to time also affected by other. Although Rahu attempts to to attack both the sun and the moon, they are protected by Lord Vishnu. Being very afraid of Lord Vishnu's chakra, Rahu cannot stay in front of the sun or moon for more than a muhurta. The phenomenon, this is what we call as eclipse. The phenomenon that occurs when Rahu blocks the light of the sun or moon is called an eclipse. The attempt of the scientists of this earth to go to the moon is as demoniac as Rahu attack. Of course, their attempts will be failures because no one can enter the moon or sun so easily. Like the attack of Rahu, such attempts will be certainly be failures. So, what does this mean? So, we still cannot accept that people who are ending up landing in the on the moon, yeah, they may have land on the surface of a moon or a planet that we call as moon, but the real moon, yeah, Lord will not allow such dominance like Rahu is doing, trying to do. And then below Rahu by 10,000 yojanas are the planets of Siddhaloka, Chanarloka, Vidyadharaloka. It is said that the residents of Siddha Loka, being naturally endowed with the powers of yogis, can go from one place, one planet to another by their natural mystic powers without using airplanes or similar machines. And below this, beneath Vidyadhara Loka, Chana Loka, and Siddha Loka is a sky called Antariksha. And in Antariksha are the places of enjoyment for yakshas, rakshasas, pisachas, ghosts, and so on. Antariksha extends as far as the wind blows and the clouds float in the sky. Above this, there is no more air. So the atmosphere we call above is, yeah, it means there is ether. Yeah, below that we can see there is air. Below the abode of Yakshas and Rakshasas, by a distance of this, the planet Earth is there. Its upper limits extend as high as swans, hawks, eagles, and similar large birds can fly. So that is the area of Earth. And then there is in this there is this by beneath this earth are seven other planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. And this Shugadeva Goswami is explaining further. He is giving example. In these seven planetary systems, which are also known as subterranean heaven, this Bilaswarga Svargaloka we know. We know that's heavenly planet where all the facilities are there. In scriptures, Urdhvam Gacchati. If one does good things, they can go and enjoy in the Svargaloka, in the heavenly planets. But when the punya get kshirna, when everything is almost consumed, where maybe there is some bit of some enjoyment he can qualify to enjoy, he might end up in this called Bilasvarga, subterranean heaven. There are very beautiful houses, gardens, place of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure. Just like now, in city and in village, we can see in city life, oh, it's all about very, very polluted. Polluted in the sense, not only smoke pollution, not only, no, the pollution of mind is so much that, yeah, have anyone heard about swapping the spouse concept? So many crazy ideas are there to just what? To enjoy, sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent, and that's why they arrange everything for their best enjoyment. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as Daityas, Danavas, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives are fully engaged in illusory material happiness. So that in the purport Prabhupada mentions, according to the statements of Prahlad Maharaj, Maya Sukha is illusory enjoyment. A Vaishnava is full of anxieties for the deliverance of all living entities from such false enjoyment. So, so Prahlad Maharaj says, Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimudhan. These fools are engaged in this material happiness, which is surely temporary. Going further, it says, not caring what will happen in the next birth. Gross materialists are simply busy enjoying during the present short span of life. A Vaishnava is always anxious to give all such bewildered materialists the real happiness of spiritual bliss. Yeah, our group is not just for namesake mentioned as the pure bliss times. Yeah, it is a, a, a project through which we can do this. A real Vaishnava's service is always anxious to give all such bewildered materialists the real happiness of spiritual bliss. Yeah, that's what we try to spread all times. And then there is explanation of who is there in this Bilasvarga. In my dear king, in the imitation heavens known as Bilasvarga, there is a great demon called Maya Danava. Yeah, this Maya Danava is so great that everyone asks him, "Hey, come and build all wonderful architecture because he is very skillful." Yeah, the houses for the leaders of these planets are constructed with most valuable jewels. Yeah, and all in all, this imitation heavenly cities are most beautifully situated and attractively decorated. And all this decoration information is given, and then different residents, what kind of facilities are given is mentioned, and then comes which verse are we? Oh, okay. Then they live very auspiciously and do not fear death from anything but death's established time, which is the effulgence of Sudarshana Chakra. Now, if at all they are fearing, it is only the chakra. What does that mean? This is the defect of material existence. Everything in the subterranean heavens is very nicely arranged. They are well situated residential quarters, there is a pleasing atmosphere, and there are no bodily inconveniences or mental anxieties. But nevertheless, those who live there have to take another birth according to karma. Hmm. So, and the members of demonic civilization endeavors to make their living condition very comfortable, but they cannot check death. The influence of Sudarshan Chakra will not allow their so-called material happiness to endure. See, material happiness doesn't stay forever. And now comes after that, then comes the lower planets to describe what is that. Beginning from Atala. Atala is the place where the son of Maya Danava called Bala, who created 96 kinds of mystic power, uh, uh, is occupying and ruling that place. Then comes Vitala, Vitala, where Lord Shiva, who is known as the master of gold mines, lives with his personal associates, the ghosts and similar living entities. Lord Shiva, as the progenitor, engages with Bhavani, the progenitress, to produce living entities. This is very important. Yeah, I mean, who are they? This is very important because people do not know the greatness of Lord Shiva and Mother Bhavani, and very loosely one talks so casually. See, he is so much into uh, 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 enjoyment. Yeah, I don't know if you are familiar. There is this very famous works called Kama Sutra, and it is we know in the temples where the architectures are made such a way that all these pictorial forms are mentioned in a divine sense and for a purpose. And it is in fact that Nandishwara has prepared, I mean, made this available. One should very, very sacredly understand what was the purpose of this. And here in the purport, I mean, in this verse itself, it is clear, and also it is mentioned the purpose is Mother Durga is the mother of the universe. She is the mother of the universe, and father of the universe, Lord Shiva, engages in the union so that the whole living entities can come into existence. Yeah, and then there is this all the purport is mentioning about the gold. And anyone knows there is in Telugu there is one famous poet. I don't know how many of you know him already. He's called Vemana. Yeah. So he's always has been so much, yeah, very rich, but he becomes a pauper. But he had a friend called Abhirama. Uh, and he is a goldsmith, and he is always trying to create gold. Yeah. And how to create gold is mentioned here. Apart from this, if one takes a hint from this verse and learns how to mix mercury with bell metal by properly heating and melting them, one can get gold very cheaply. The alchemists of medieval age tried to manufacture gold, but they were unsuccessful. Perhaps they did not follow the right instructions. What is our gold? Is chanting the Maha Mantra. One who stops these four principles of sinful activities and chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra can certainly become a pure Brahmana through the process of bona fide initiation as suggested by Sanatan Goswami. Going further, what is done in the Vitala? Below the Vitala is another called Sutala, where great son of Maharaj Virochana. So Bali Maharaj stays here. And then there is this further explanation given is the Lord is described here as Uttama Shloka. Uttama, the best. Shloka means verses. He who is worshipped by the best of selected verses. And his devotees, such as Bali Maharaj, are also worshipped by Punya Shloka, verses that increase one's piety. So, when we are hearing Bhagavatam, when we are reading Bhagavatam, what is happening when we come across the Leelas of the Lord? Yeah, we are already blessed because we are glorifying the Uttama Shloka, the Lord. And we are also hearing about the Punya Shloka, the person, a devotee who is so pure. The Lord appeared before Bali Maharaj as a Brahmana beggar. I mean, this we know the past time, and that's what is mentioned. It is said, those who give contributions to expand the activities of Krishna consciousness movement and to accomplish its objectives will never be losers. They will get their wealth back with the blessings of Lord Krishna. This is what happened in the case of Bali Maharaj. On the other hand, those who collect contributions on behalf of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness should be very careful not to use even a farthing of the collection for any purpose other than transcendental, loving service of the Lord. So we should be very careful that everything when we collect is for the service of the Lord, not for self. And then there is this further explanation which is telling about Bali Maharaj, how great he is. I think this purport 20 has, I'm just seeing, yesterday when I saw there was, I think 24, but I missed this. So let's see what is there here. In this, if one who is embarrassed by hunger or who falls down or stumbles chants the holy name of the Lord even once willingly or unwillingly, he is immediately freed from the reactions of his past deeds. Karmis entangled in material activities face many difficulties in practice of mystic yoga hmm, and other endeavors to achieve the same freedom. So what is happening is karmis are always struggling. They are trying to get mystic powers and whatever, but still it is struggle. Purpose is it is not a fact that one has to offer his material possessions to the Supreme Lord and be liberated. before he can engage in the devotional service. A devotee automatically attains liberation without separate endeavors. In the case of Bali Maharaj, it's not that he gave up everything, then he started becoming a devotee. No. While he is engaging in the service of offering everything to the Lord, he already got liberated. This is further explained with an example. तद् भक्तानाम् आत्मवतां सर्वेषाम् आत्मनि आत्मतय आत्मतयैव. This shloka is very, very, very important. And in fact, if we cannot remember the shloka, but we need to understand the value of this. Yeah? The Supreme Lord who is situated in everyone's heart, hmm, tad bhaktanam atmavatam, uh, as the super soul, Sarvesham sells himself to his devotees, such as Narada Muni. This is the greatness of a devotee, or maybe we can say this is the weakness of the Lord. No one can rule over the Lord. Lord is supreme powerful. But when it comes in front of his devotees, he submits himself. Huh? In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. Great self realized mystic yogis, such as the four Kumaras, also derive great transcendental bliss from realizing the super soul within themselves. So, here the Lord became Bali Maharaj's doorkeeper, not because of his giving everything to the Lord, but because of his exalted position as a lover of the Lord. So Lord doesn't want material things, but Lord is so much happy to see the love of the devotee. न वै भगवान् नूनम् अमुष्यानुजाग्राह यद् उत पुनरात्मानुस्मृति मोषणं मायामय भोगैश्वर्यम् एव तनु तेति. Sorry. The result of material opulence is that one can no longer absorb his mind in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Bali Maharaj, what did he do? The Lord did not award his mercy to Bali Maharaj by giving him material happiness and opulence. For these make one forget loving service to the Lord. Huh? So we should not cry, oh Bhagwan, why did you take all my wealth? Huh? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? No. If Lord is doing that, that is considered to be one kind of an mercy of the Lord. There are two kinds of opulence. One which results from one's karma is matter, material, whereas other is spiritual. A surrendered soul who fully depends on the Lord does not want material opulence for sense gratification. Therefore, when a pure devotee is seen to possess exalted material opulence, it is not due to his karma, rather, it is due to his bhakti. In other words, or what we see is, oh, why is he so rich devotee? It's not that he is rich devotee because he did karma in the past, that's why he got money. No, because he is such a great devotee and Lord want to engage him in great services for which there is so much dravya is needed. So he is also giving all that. Hmm. This is the Lord's mercy because if a neophyte devotee becomes materially opulent, he forgets the service of the Lord. We have seen so many examples in our life, isn't it? We see some people come to Krishna consciousness when they are in the state of artis, crying, oh Bhagavan, I am full distress, I have that problem, this problem. Okay, let my exams finish, let me get a job, let me get married, let me get children, let me get settled. One after the other, he is always in distress. Yeah. Here, for such a neophyte devotee, this is the Lord's mercy because if a neophyte devotee becomes materially opulent, he forgets the service of the Lord. So, this happens when Krishna is solving our problems, we take him very easily. Okay, thank you, Lord. Oh, nice, so nice of you. Again, when I have a problem, I'll come to you. Until then, I'll not disturb you at all. Better you also don't disturb me. No. However, if an advanced devotee is favored by the Lord with opulence, it is not material opulence but a spiritual opportunity. Material opulence offered to the demigods causes forgetfulness of the Lord, but opulence was given to Bali Maharaj for continuing service to the Lord, which was free from any touch of Maya. So the Lord also is giving all the facilities to his devotees that he can spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And then Bali Maharaj was so powerful that he fought with Indra and took possession of the three worlds. Indra was certainly very advanced in knowledge, but instead of asking Vamanadev for engagement in his service, he used the Lord to beg for material possession. Sometimes what happens is we don't know what to ask. That's why we think, oh, let me ask that. Let me. Some people are so special, they think, oh, Lord doesn't know me, so let me ask what I want. Hmm? Therefore, Bali Maharaj lamented that although Indra was very learned, he did not know how to use his intelligence properly. For instead of asking Vamanadev to allow him to engage in his service, Indra used him to beg Bali Maharaj for material wealth. Hmm. So that's the reason Bali Maharaj is lamenting, oh, such a great opportunity you have because you are a demigod, you are very close, you can pray to the Lord and engage in his service. Rather, you went and told, I have problem with Bali Maharaj, solve my problem, so that I can enjoy Swargaloka properly. That's not right. Anyway, and then goes. Hmm. Hmm. So Shukadev Goswami is saying, my dear king, how shall I glorify the character of Bali Maharaj? In fact, we know Bali Maharaj, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, in that list of all the offerings one can do to the Lord, Atma Nivedanam, completely surrendering, selflessly surrendering is performed by whom? Bali Maharaj. Shukadev Goswami is saying, my dear king, how shall I glorify the character of Bali Maharaj? The Supreme Lord, who is most compassionate to his own devotee, stands with club in the hand at Bali Maharaj's door. Huh? So, see, Lord is so merciful and touched by that love that, oh, he didn't keep anything for himself, he gave everything to me, and that's why uh, Lord said, I will stay in your planet and be the doorkeeper. Hmm. And then there is further explanation about the next list of planets. And then there is this mention about the planetary system below Talatala is called Mahatala. In the abode of it is the abode of many hooded snakes. There is Kadru. I mean, I have little time I can use. There is this Kadru and Vinata. Does anyone already know this pastime? Kadru and Vinata. Is that in this purport? No. Anyone knows this or? Kashyapa Muni had, among many wives, he had Kadru and Vinata. Vinata is the mother of Garudas, and Kadru is mother of the snakes. Somehow there is, they don't go well together, and they had so much, This Vinata was treated bad and by Kadru, yeah. And finally, Garuda could not tolerate this. He said, okay, if something can be done so that I can free her from all these insults. So anyway, the story goes further and further. I mean, finally, they say, okay, actually, even before this, there is actually a betting. Kadru and Vinata have a betting, and Vinata is cheated by Kadru, saying, "Okay, do you see a snake? No, not a snake. A horse having a black tail." Yeah, if I'm maybe if someone knows can tell correctly. So, and then Vinata says, "How is it possible that a white horse can have a black tail?" No, 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 no. If I prove, then you should become my slave forever. Okay? That is the deal. And Vinata was very confident. Yeah, come on, that's not at all possible. But what happened is, Kadru planned such a way that this body of the horse is covered with all snakes, and it appears that this tail, yeah, of horse is also covered by this black snake. And then whatever Kadru wanted to show, and because they are seeing from very far, that Vinata thought, oh, okay, then this horse has a black tail, and in fact, Kadru won, and that's why she started becoming, she became her slave. And who likes that his mother is, yeah, becomes a servant, and that too through all this fraud. So Garuda said, okay, no, come on, I will free you. Please tell me what I should do. And he approached Kadru. She said, you know what, get me Amrit in the Swargaloka. In the Swargaloka, when the churning happened, all this churning, then the Kshira Sagar, they came nectar. That nectar is there in the Swargaloka. Go and get it. So, and Garuda said, okay, I can go and bring it. After I bring it, you have to leave my mother free. Yeah. And yeah, that was the deal. And Garuda, yeah, to free her mother from this bondage. So he went, he was expert, he could go, he could get the pot. When he picked up the pot and when he was flying back, Indra came with his elephant, and then he stopped, and he told, no, 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 please, please. Hmm? It is only, I am doing this only for my mother, so that because she can be free. And Indra thought, oh, so genuine cause. And then he said, okay, you may take it, you can bring it. And then what happened? Garuda took the pot of honey, or sorry, nectar, and or amrit, and he gave it to Kadru. And then you know what? Kadru was very happy, and she said, okay, now your mother is free. Yeah, you may go. Just when the pot was given, and then she released Vinata from the slavery, then Indra came and took the pot back. Anyway, that is a trick. But what happened is, because of this great affection and adventurous deed of Garuda to free his mother from the slavery, Lord Vishnu accepted him as his carrier, Garuda. My God, so much story. I just try to keep it short. There is still a lot background to this. And anyway, um, yeah, here we talk about Kadru. Yeah. So many hooded snakes, descendants of Kadru. That's why, I mean, I'm not exactly able to recollect. But in the same story, there is an explanation. Why do the snakes have a slitted tongue? What did they eat? Some grass, I think, right? Some kusha grass or something they eat or try to, and that will, the blade will cut the snake tongue into two. And that's why she wanted this Amrit, so that all her children can be freed. So, anyway, and then there is this Takshaka. We know this Takshaka bird is that which is supposed to come and kill. Oh, I'm sorry, kill. Hmm, Parikshit Maharaj. And then we know this Kalia, and then there is Sushena. The snakes in Mahatala are always disturbed by fear of Garuda. Hmm? And in the purport Prabhupada is giving this, yeah. It is said here that the snakes who live in the planetary system known as Mahatala are very powerful and have many hoods. They live with their wives and children and consider themselves very happy, although they are always full of anxiety because of Garuda, who comes there to destroy them. This is the way of material life. Even if one lives in the most abominable condition, he still thinks himself happy with his wife, children, friends, and relatives. Okay, then I think the last, but yeah, last but one verse. And then it is said, beneath Mahatala is Rasatala, which is the abode of demonic sons Diti and Danu. Danu's children are Danavas, Diti's children are Dityas. Who is this? Um, Daityas. Yeah, Daityas. They are called Panis, Nivata Kavacha. Anyone heard this name called Nimata Kavacha or
No.
Kaleyas? Anyone heard? No. Hiranya Puravasis. Okay, about Hiranya. Let's Kaleyas. Yeah, I think we covered Kalakeyas, right? So they, yeah, I think in the second part, this Nivata Kavachas also were picked up in the Bahubali. Of course, the same name was used in long, long ago. There was a movie. In that also these names were used whenever they want to tell there is people who are living in the most abominable areas who are like villains, right? So all these they create from nowhere from Bhagavatam. They are all enemies of demigods and they reside in the holes like snakes. From birth they are very extremely powerful and cruel, and although they are proud of their strength, they are always defeated by the Sudarshan Chakra. See? In the purport, it is said that there was a great fight between these serpentines, demons, and Indra. When the defeated demons met the female messenger Sarama, who was chanting a mantra, they became afraid, and therefore they are living in the planet called Rasatala. Hmm. Anyway, that's it. I think this is the explanation given about all the lokas, 14 lokas, and especially the 7 lokas below the sun. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyway, every enthusiastic person can go through this purports and also can read more. Yeah, understand where we are, how the Lord has created everything. Okay, thank you so much. Tomorrow, I'm thinking, yeah, the class should happen. If it happens, don't miss it. It will be very nice chapter. I think it's called the Glories of Ananta. Let me check. What is it called? Yes, the Glories of Lord Ananta. Very nice chapter. If by any chance you miss this, don't miss the chapter after that. Yeah, which is 26. 26, yeah, which is telling about the 28 kinds of hellish planets. Of course, we have covered that during the last before year Bhagavad Sapta when Ajamil passed and we were discussing. But I think we may have forgotten the world that, and then, yeah, a recap to know how dangerous it is to be negligent, to ignore, or to be careless. It's always nice to remind ourselves. Okay, that were some announcements from my side. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेम। हरे कृष्ण।